Okay, guys. So I wanted to jump on here and just talk about offers and expertise a little bit more in depth because we've done our skill set worksheet, so we kind of understand the different things that we are able to do and the value that we can provide. So when we are selecting what our offers are, I want us to consider that skill sheet, okay? And we're going to make general buckets of offers. So you might have a general administrative assistance kind of bucket, right? So you're just doing, maybe it's data entry, calendar management, scheduling, or some kind of communication with high level clients, right? So that's your general admin bucket. Or maybe you love social media, so you're going to have some kind of social media bucket. So there's different buckets that you're going to create for your offers. And in the course, we did have that sheet that kind of lists off the top 30 offers you can provide or services you can provide. And this list can be evolving, but I do want you to take the time to start kind of, even if you just have one bucket, list 5 things under that bucket that you are going to provide to your client. And the more clients that you work with, the more you're going to have an idea of what belongs in this list, okay? And if there's something you don't like to do, take it off your list. Be like, I'm no longer offering that. I really dislike that. Like if you don't want to do customer service emails, don't provide it. Like you get to make that decision. Now, when we discuss stuff like prices and packaging for these offers that we create, people are like, well, like, what do I charge? And it really, you need to do your research and, based on the offers that you are providing to see what kind of like the market rate is. I encourage you to never charge below $20 an hour. And this is 2023. So depending on when you watch this, um, most VAs, I'd say, like, even start off at 25. Like if you set up your business in this professional way, you can definitely charge $25 an hour. So, maybe if you're having a hard time with your confidence and your mindset around 25 an hour, go ahead and do 20, and then just be prepared that you're going to have that rate increase conversation, because 20 is not enough to sustain your business in the long run. Obviously, this is completely up to you and something that you just really need to sit with and decide for yourself. Now, when we look at raising our rates, okay, so we go back to these offers that we have and, these different like groups of tasks, I guess you could say, right? If there is something in one of these groups, let's say you are creating systems or, automation, or you love tech, you like, creating email sequences, whatever it is that you end up realizing that you love. In the beginning, you're not going to really know this unless it's like a hobby that you're already doing. Okay. So as you work with clients, you're like, like, I love tech. Like for me, like I love creating systems and setting up automations. Like it's kind of like soothing in a weird way. And so I became an expert in systems and automations. Now, the cool thing here is that, and I don't do this as much anymore, but when I was doing that, I was able to charge a premium rate because I was a go-to expert for systems and automations. And so as you're, working on this business, I want you to look out for those things that you're like, it sparks joy and you really enjoy doing it and it provides a lot of value for your client. And start spending some time just getting really good at it. Because in the future, when you start signing on a client, that's your offer. So now, you know what your specialty is, and you are going to charge a premium rate. There's people, if you look at Upwork or you look at different places, and you're going to see rates, $75 an hour, $80, $100 an hour, because they're so specialized and they can do it well. And so if someone hires them, they know they're going to have, a system that is solid, or their automations aren't going to break. Another thing you can do, we've talked about being a social media manager, which is also a specialty, but also you can become like a tech VA. So a tech VA is someone who is going to focus primarily on all the tech stuff. So it's going to be the back end of Zoom. It's going to be making sure those a tech VA does do automations. They oftentimes will help with some of the website back end, making sure, things are working there, or maybe making sure a sales sequence and like Infusionsoft is set up, or they're going to be on the really techie side. So they're not going to be dealing with clients or customers or really even social media. So they just know what their lane is and where their zone of genius is, and they went with it. And now they can charge much higher rates. Also, when you become a specialist or an expert in an area, and we're going to talk about this later in the course about hiring on a team and becoming an agency. But this is the easiest way to go into that model, because when you're an expert, someone's just hiring you to take care of a very specific area of their business. And maybe you have assistants who are able to go and check that automation once a week and make sure it's running properly. Or they're just going to do these small back end things that just take up your time. They're not hard, but you know they need to be done. And then that's when you're going to start being able to grow your business by growing your team. And so I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and just keep, drop the seed there, keep it in the back of your mind as you're a VA. I really want you to focus on niching down, not only in the industry. So we talked about that, you're going to niche down in the industry that you're in, but you're going to also niche down in the type of support you provide. And I do want to also, some people think that becoming, just if you're a VA, you're not a specialist. But if you really like general admin type of work and that's where you want to be, you can still become an expert in that. And so a lot of times you'll see those experts called executive assistants. So they work with high level, CEOs, COOs, CFOs, business owners directly. And so they're the go-to person who that business owner or that, leadership member is relying solely on this person to make sure they're accurate, they're professional. It's a high level position. And so if you really do enjoy admin work, you don't have to pick something like a certain software program or a certain area of business that you're going to specialize in. You can just hone in and be an executive assistant that rocks. And I will tell you what, if you are a really high quality executive assistant, you can earn a lot of money. You just really need to know systems. You need to know calendar management and scheduling and how to respond to clients and how to be proactive so that your CEO or whoever it is you're working with doesn't have to worry about what's coming up. They're always prepared, And so just some things to consider and as you set your rates and as you kind of, navigate going through working with clients and you want to grow your business. So those are some thoughts. I go ahead and start creating those buckets of offers that you think you would like to, provide to your client. Obviously, it's a running list. It's not something you're setting in stone. You're just, you're brainstorming it, right? And it's going to evolve. So make sure you keep note of things as they evolve and be like, I no longer want to do this. I love doing this. And just have fun with it. So just some thoughts I wanted to share. I hope you guys are having a great week. Please continue to do the homework and the assignments as assigned.